Number 1. Josh and his brother Eric loved exploring the Appalachian Mountains, but this trip was different. They decided to camp near Mac's Patch, far from the beaten path, eager for isolation in the crisp golden glow of autumn. By the time they reached the clearing, the sun was already setting, painting the mountains in fiery hues. The vast silence that crept in as night fell was unnerving. The fire crackled, and Josh leaned back, staring at the stars. Eric poked the fire with a stick, muttering about how quiet the woods were tonight. "Not even the wind," he said, his voice low. It was sometime after midnight when Josh first noticed it. Just beyond the firelight's reach, at the edge of the tree line, stood a figure. He froze, blinking to make sure his eyes weren't playing tricks on him. The figure was unnaturally tall and thin, its long limbs appearing almost stretched. It stood perfectly still, facing them. "Eric," Josh whispered, nudging his brother. Eric turned, his expression quickly matching Josh's wide-eyed fear. "What is that?" "Probably just someone messing with us," Josh said, though he didn't believe it. "Hey!" he yelled, his voice echoing through the trees. The figure didn't flinch. Eric grabbed the flashlight, his hands shaking as he switched it on. The beam cut through the darkness, landing on nothing. The figure was gone. Both of them scanned the tree line, their breath quickening. The fire began to flicker violently, as if an invisible wind were pushing it. "We need to go," Eric said, his voice trembling. But before they could move, a low whistle echoed from the opposite side of the clearing. It was soft, almost melodic, but there was something deeply unnatural about it. The brothers whipped around, the flashlight darting through the trees. Again, nothing. Then came the sound of twigs snapping, closer this time. It was as if someone or something was circling them. Panic set in. They grabbed their gear haphazardly, stomping out the fire before sprinting down the trail. The sound of snapping branches followed them, growing louder, almost as if whatever it was wanted them to know it was there. When they finally reached their truck hours later, exhausted and shaking, Josh turned to lock the door. His heart sank. Standing at the edge of the parking lot, barely visible in the pre-dawn light, was the figure. It didn't move. It just swayed slightly, as though bidding them farewell.